this giant whale comes out of nowhere and goes, "I'm a whale," and it fires this water blast. It uses water gun or hydro pump on Eon the Terrible, Chad. And Eon's like, "Brah!" And Rudolph's like, "Who the hell are you?" And he's like, "My name is Big Ben. Do you want to get in my mouth? I'm going to vor you, Rudolph." Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content in my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games. I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video.
Look at that.
Christmas's most lovable misfit is back.
That's where I come in.
And once again, it's up to him to save another holiday. But this time, he's got to rescue New Year's.
But now, my friends, we're going to go ahead and get to my review of Rudolph's Shiny New Year, chat, which is the 1976 sequel to the 1964 special, chat. Over 10 years it took for this sequel to be made, chat. It's kind of crazy. You think that special was so popular, like, oh, let's get another fucking special out there. I thought that's why the movie's so weird. They didn't spend any time. It's like, no, apparently they took the time to think about this movie, and this is what they came up with. Bizarre. Rankin Bass, what the hell is wrong with you? Rankin Bass Productions, what were you thinking? But chat, before I go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty details of this movie, before I do my scene by scene breakdown, I have a very important question to ask you, chat, and that's, how many of you have seen Rudolph's Shiny New Year, chat? It's very bizarre. Shiny New Year, chat. I'm curious. Hamilton says, yes, I have. Now, Bergen has definitely seen it. I never even saw the sequel. Even there was a Wii game, a lot of shovelware on the Wii. I know that. Cassie says, I have Dark Slayer. Of course. Devin the Great, I have. Of course, damn it. Okay. Luke the Boss, I have seen some of it. I find that talking clock offensive. Oh, General Ticker? Fuck that guy. Fuck General Ticker. Fuck quarter past 5, where the fuck that the camel is. Court. I'll call you Court, goddamn. I don't care what your name is. Yeah. This thing's, it's all over the place, Spock. It is all over the place. Guys, a lot of the specials are pretty weird. I guess that's true. They all, even the original Rudolph, it's like, there's Island of Misfit Toys, and there's this crazy guy, Yukon Cornelius, and there's an elf that's a dentist that's clearly an allegory for being gay. It's like, what the hell's happening? You're right. You're not wrong. Jason, I have. I was like, I have. Bursman says, nope. Bad Boy, I've seen most of the classic Rankin Bass. I don't like the one I saw most was the Year of Out of Santa Claus. That's a good one. I like that one. I fucking love that one. It's the Miser Brothers, baby. Good shit. Carol, a long time ago. I didn't like those shorts as a kid. Fair enough. Yes, I have. I know Baby Jesus from You Anime is in this, probably. Well, I mean, I guess so. I mean, you're talking to Happy? Happy New Year. His name is literally Happy, like Happy New Year. I want to talk about the life cycle of Baby New Year's because it's fucking weird. I'm confused by them, chat. Like, I've seen this movie, like, several times. Like, yeah, like, you know, like some of you guys, I also grew up on these Rankin Bass specials, chat. I think I owned, like, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on VHS, and I think Frosty and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I owned all those movies. I grew up with them, chat. I watched them obsessively. And I had seen Rudolph's Shiny New Year, but even as a child, I remember, like, this one is weird. I always knew that. As I got older, it just started to dawn on me, like, yeah, there's some kind of fucked up shit about this film. Not that there isn't already some weird shit in the original Rudolph. There's no question about it. But this one, they were like, well, I don't know. Father Time is he's one of the gods of New Year, but then there's a baby, and then baby New Year becomes Father Time, but like, it's not the same person. Is it reincarnation? Does his soul go into the baby and then he dies? Like, I don't know. There's an archipelago where time periods become islands, and so, like, years are, like, alive and they retire and they form as islands. And there's a Cro-Magnon man, and it's 1,000,000 BC. And then Benjamin Franklin becomes 1776, and then there's an eagle, and he's trying to kill everybody. And, like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It's very fucking confusing. It's all over the place, chat. And Rudolph's like, why do I have to do this? Because Santa didn't get off his fat, lazy ass, chat, to help Father Time. He's like, fuck, Rudolph, you do it. And he goes on this weird adventure, somehow de-ages. He was an adult reindeer by the end of Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, chat. Made up of his family, had a baby deer on the way, a fawn on the way, chat, with, the love of his life. And all that shit got erased. It's very odd how they changed his design, chat. And he also forgot how to fly. Doesn't make a lot of sense at all. Thank you, Jason, for the 10 biddies. But I still liked watching even yesterday, chat. But I have to admit, it's an odd movie. Well, if it was a lot of this was animated in Japan, chat. And the special Japanese dub came out like in 1979 with even weirder shit and weirder dialogue. But yeah, chat. Yeah, I have a love for these animated specials, but like I said, they're odd to say the very least. But now, chat, let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty details of this movie. And we do a recap, chat, of the events of the last film, which again, some people might have forgotten. Luke the Boss, thank you for the 10 biddies. He literally tells him, Rudolph, you gotta do this in 6 days. Like, motherfucker, I just saved you last few hours. It's true. It's like it takes place immediately after the events of the first film. Thank you, Luke the Boss, for the 2 biddies. But that's what happens, chat. We get a recap of the previous film's events. All you know about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the most famous reindeer of all. Virtuous Samurai, thank you so much for the gifted sub. I appreciate that. A pleasure to have you. To Kid Twist 86, very kind. But yes, chat, for my scene by scene breakdown to Rudolph's Shiny New Year, we start with a recap of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And his legend, how he became who he was, Chad. He has just saved Christmas. Santa, he talked shit about Rudolph, told Blitzen that you gotta fucking take care of this, all right? You gotta make sure that this shit doesn't happen again. I want that red nose there. Rudolph knew he wasn't loved by Santa, his family, except his mom, of course. And, the one little deer who he had a baby with. But he had his adventures, Chad, teaming up with Hermie, who was a gay elf, who wanted to be a dentist, chap, but it was an allegory for being gay, which is fine. And also he met a crazy prospector called Yukon Cornelius, chat, and they found an abominable snowman. They went to an island of misfit toys. You know the story, okay? And he saved Christmas. And it was beautiful. Well, apparently, chat, after Santa was done delivering all those toys, after Rudolph saved his fat ass, Santa received a letter from Father Time, chat, who's a new character introduced, not seen in the previous films. And I guess Father Time controls all time, and he's the figurehead, if you will, of New Year's, which is coming up, chat. It's the next big holiday after Christmas. And Santa's reading this letter, and Father Time's like, listen, man, we're fucked. The baby New Year, Happy New Year, he is gone, and I need your help, okay? Because if we don't find this kid, I won't be able to reincarnate myself inside of him, and we'll be stuck in a time loop, Santa. It's like, this is like an animated special for children, and it's already fucking weird. It's already going off the rails. And Santa's like, I'm tired. I don't know if I want to do this. Wait a minute. There's that one kid, that Rudolph kid. I'm going to get him to do this. And I'm sure Santa went to him because Rudolph told him the last special, he's like, listen, fat man, all right, I'm not doing this for you. I'm not doing this for my shitty dad or your shitty wife, all your shitty elves and the other shitty reindeer. I'm doing this for me, okay? I'm doing this for me and the kid I have on the way and for my mom and for my wife. Like, fuck you, all right? Now, you never believed in me, but I believe in myself. And so I imagine Santa's like, this guy's going to be hard to convince. And he's like, listen, Rudolph, I know you just saved Christmas like literally hours ago, but I need your help again. He's like, what the fuck do you want, fat man? And it's like, listen, the new year could end, okay? If baby New Year is not found in 6 days, then we're going to be in a time loop and a black hole be created and reincarnation will be. I don't understand what Father Time was talking about, but I think it's bad. and we really need your help. And he's like, God damn it. You know, I got a kid on the way. He's like, I understand that. And he's like, all right, fine. I will help you with this. I'll find this Happy New Year or whatever the hell his name is. I'll bring him back, and I'll make sure the new year has been saved. And Santa's like, thank you so much. He's like, don't fucking thank me. I don't want your goddamn thanks. I'm going to help this kid because he clearly has been neglected just like I was all those years ago. Nick, thank you for the 100 biddies. I said time is relative. Well, Rudolph said, fuck your time. I'm going to go find this kid. That's what's happening. And so he sets off, Chad. He sets off on his adventure, Chad. He leaves. It's already still storming outside, and Nat Red Nose talking shit about this Santa. I remember. He goes out there and braves that blizzard, Chad. And we get the opening credits, which is all New Year's themed, and it's all moving around with the power stop motion, Chad. We see some of the actors who are in it. See even some returning ones. You know, the same actress who voices Rudolph, she's returned as well. Give her some goddamn respect, Chad. Billy Richards does a great job. Also, we have Frank Gorshin, Chad, who's also known for playing the Riddler. He plays two characters, Sir 1023, who sounds like a J.F. Kennedy if he was a knight, and also Quarter Past Five, that shitty camel. But he goes off in his adventure, and somehow, which is, I'm very confused by this, but he just randomly, like, we cut from, like, him, you know, leaving Santa's workshop and palace, and then we get the credits, and then we're in the blizzard again, and he's with this guy named General Ticker, who comes out of nowhere. And, you know, Rudolph's like, oh, boy, General Ticker, it's going to take us a long time to brave this snowstorm before we get to the castle of Father Time. And then General Ticker's like, nah, see, yeah, I'm sure we can do it, Rudolph. There'll be no problem. It's like, I don't understand the voices for some of these other characters. He's very weird. Sounds like, nah, I'm sure we'll get there, yeah. And so eventually they transition out of the snowstorm, and they end up in a desert. So we go from the North Pole to the desert. I'm like, I don't know how this happened or what the geography is or what path they took. But Rudolph's like, why are we in a desert? And also, there's another thing in this movie that confuses me, because over the desert dunes, Chet, the sand dunes, where, you know, there are sandworms and spice everywhere, we see that the shining beacon that is Father Time's palace/castle. And, you know, General Ticker's like, oh yeah, it's over there. It's over there. We just gotta, you know, brave the wastes of the desert. And Rudolph's like, fuck, it's gonna take so much time to walk there, but okay. Did Rudolph just fucking forget that he could fly? He was literally flying in the opening of the movie, and for whatever reason, throughout most of this film, he chooses not to fly. And I don't understand it. I don't get it. It's like, I think the filmmakers went, oh, fuck, he can fly now. Oh, yeah. We're just going to ignore that fact, because he could have made this journey on his own. He could have gotten all on. It's like, why is he in a sailboat? Why is he going to rely on a fucking... It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So much of this movie doesn't make sense. But they're traveling through the desert, you know, dying of thirst. And Rudolph's like, I want to go home and be with my wife. Oh, my God. General Ticker's like, no, Rudolph, we'll look together. He's like, shut up, General Ticker. Shut up. No one even knows who you are. No one likes you. But eventually they meet up with a camel, which has a clock embedded in its hump. And this is voiced by Frank Gore. She's like, hi, Rudolph. He's like, Jesus, what the hell are you? He's like, I'm 5:15. And his clock is literally 5:15. And Rudolph's like, oh, well, hey, man, can you help us? And he goes, sure, I can take you to Father Time's castle. And it's like, all right, nice, man. And so he gets up on 5:15, and so does General Ticker. And he's like, hey, you know, can I call you Court? And then 5:15 says, I'd prefer if you don't fucking call me that. And he's like, okay, sorry I asked. General Ticker's rhyming. Yeah, he rhymes a lot. I'm like, this is annoying. I don't like the rhyming, chat. But as they're going through the desert, he's, you know, fucking 5:15, or Court, as I prefer to call him. Rudolph's like, I'm going to keep calling you Court. I don't give a shit what your name is. They keep galloping towards Father Time's castle. And all of a sudden, this giant kaiju buzzard, this giant vulture comes out of nowhere and goes, I'm gonna fucking kill all of you. And they're like, what the hell is that thing? And it's Eon, Chad. It's Eon, which is a billion years. That's what an Eon is. And it's Eon the Terrible. What's his name? I think, oh yeah, he's called Eon the Terrible, chat. And his whole thing is he's super concerned about death because he's lived for 1 billion years. And if we get into the next year, once the clock strikes midnight, chat, on January 1st, he'll fucking turn to ice and snow. He'll die. And so he needs to capture Baby New Year, happy chat, Happy New Year, and that will then prevent the new year from coming. And so that's his plan. And so he sees these three, and he's like, you're trying to fuck up my thing. I want to live. This movie's weird. And he literally swoops down on them, trying to kill them. And he's like, run! He's like, Jesus. But thankfully, 5:15, he gets to the realm of Father Time. And it's kind of done in the style of Times Square. Like, there's all these giant billboards everywhere. It's like, this is Father Time's castle and shit. And it's like, all right, sure. And they get in there, chat. We're introduced to Father Time, who kind of explains like what he does. Like, again, it's very confusing. To this day, I'm like, I still don't know what you really are. He's surrounded by clocks. He makes sure he makes sure like the year progresses as it does, that time is never out of sync, right? I'm like, okay. All right, I get it. But I'm like, but what's the purpose of a Baby New Year? 'Cause that's what Rudolph asked me. He's like, hey man, I'm here to help you find this kid. And he's like, Rudolph, yes, I need your help. I need you to help me find the Baby New Year. And he's like, yeah, but what's a Baby New Year? He's like, Baby New Year grows up every year. And let me tell you, and we see this musical number where the Baby New Year like grows up. It lives a lifetime within a year, Chad. It's like a baby. It's like a fetus baby. And then it becomes like a toddler, and then a child, and a teenager, and then an adult, and then an old man, all within the span of like a year. And that baby becomes the new Father Time. So what happens to this Father Time? It's not explained. I don't get it. Because Father Time's talking about like, yeah, I remember when I had a little bit more red in my hair. It wasn't all white. But it sounds like he's been around for a while. Like he knows about it. So I just think he's just reincarnating himself. He's literally like he's putting his soul inside of a baby. You know, and that's why I'd be like, I was happy. Like, I'm not letting that old man inside me. I don't want his disgusting old man, Father Time, soul in me. And Rudolph's like, I'm still like really confused, sir, and kind of concerned that I'm literally just trying to kidnap a baby so then you can put your soul inside of it. And he's like, I'll just give you a dance number. That's what we'll do. Luke the Boss Rudolph comes off as a house reindeer. It's a privilege to serve you, sir. Oh, I know. It's like, yeah, Rudolph, come on. I like my Rudolph who's like, fuck you. I'm here to help this kid because he's been abused by people like you. That's what we're going to do. And so we get this song from Father Time, chat. And it is weird. It's called Turn Back the Years. And it's like really ominous. So I'm going to give it to you, chat. Turn back the years, live the simple life once again. Live the days, remember when. Turn back the years, turn back the years. Walk along any sunny day. Walking's better than any plane. Turn back the years, just remember the good, the times you knew. Don't remember the bad, the times you've been through. Life disappears faster than you think it would. Fool yourself, everybody should. Turn back the years. Turn back the years. It's like, what the hell's going on? It's like, we're talking about death and reincarnation. It's like, okay. And Rudolph's like, well, that was ominous, not as cheery as, my tune or anything. All right, sir, I have a couple of questions for you. So what happened? What happened with Happy? And fucking Father Time's like, let me tell you. So, there's like a new baby every year. And I didn't know him really. I don't really pay attention to babies, because I don't want the guilt of when I have to put my soul inside of them. So I had like Nanny 9 o'clock. She was raising the kid, and we cut to like Nanny 9 o'clock. She's got like a binky and a fucking bottle of milk, some good old titty milk, chat. And, Happy's sitting in his crib. He's got this big fucking top hat on, and he takes it off, ready for his titty milk. And he's got these giant fucking elephant ears, Chad. He's got these huge ears. And the nurse is, oh my fuck, look at his size of your ears. Oh. And she has a really obnoxious British accent. She's laughing her fucking ass. Yo, it's not the baby ass, the biggest ass you ever saw. And then you see General Ticker, and he's like, he's laughing at the kid. And 5:15, where the hell his name is, Court. Rudolph's like, I'm gonna call you Court. He's laughing at the baby, and Rudolph's like, so you guys were all laughing at this kid because he looked different. And they're like, he was funny looking. And he's like, you guys are assholes. People laughed at me because I had a red nose. And look what I was able to do. And even, for the rest of the movie, General Ticker and 5:15, they're not in the movie. I don't know if they were supposed to be on his adventure, but they're just they're not in the movie anymore. And so he's like, I don't want to work with you. I'll do this by myself. He shames them, shit. He thoroughly fucking shames them. Look, the boss in heavy cockney ass. Oh, he's baby got some big ass down here. That's what she says. He should have spit up on her. That's what he should have done. That I don't want your titty milk. Bleh. And what he did was, after being mocked, he escaped. He escaped the fortress. He escaped the Father Time's palace. He's like, I need you to get this kid for me, Rudolph. I need him. And Rudolph's like, all right, how do I get him? And then we get all right, Rudolph, go to the giant sundial near the coast of my palace. And he's like, okay. And he goes down there, and the sundial will point you towards the archipelago of past times. And Rudolph's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, every time there's a new year, the past year becomes an island. Okay? It becomes an island, and time stands still there. And there are millions of islands out there. You got the island of 1 million BC. You have the island of 1823. You have the island of 1023. You have the island of 1492, of 1776. And they're just there. They all have themes. And Rudolph's like, okay. And so he goes down to the sundial, which points in the direction of the archipelago. But then apparently he forgot he could fly. He's like, how the hell am I supposed to get over there? It's not like I can fly or anything. But he sees a boat with a calendar, sheet that will able to like a mast and sails and shit. And it has a calendar of the year 1923. And he gets in this boat, and he sails off, chat, looking for Happy. And eventually, chat, as he's going in this boat and he's going on all these islands, he can't find the kid, and he's just become. There's a musical number here, and I don't remember what the fucking musical number is. It literally lasts for maybe a couple of lines, and that's it. But he's sailing, he's getting depressed, Chad. He's thinking about his wife and the baby on the way and stuff, and his mom. He's really sad. He hates his dad, and he's like, fuck you, Santa, I should be with them. But then all of a sudden, fuck, it's Eon, Chad, it's Eon. He's like, you're trying to kill me. And Rudolph's like, I'm not trying to kill you, man. All right, you lived for 1 billion years, okay? I mean, your time is just at an end. He's like, bro, I want to keep living, and I will get happy, and you'll die. And Rudolph's like, shit, only if I knew how to fly, and I could get out of there. But he forgot, as we all know. But just before Eon is about to attack the boat and rip Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer apart, just disembowel him, this giant whale comes out of nowhere and goes, I'm a whale! And it fires this water blast. It uses water gun or hydro pump on Eon the Terrible, Chad. And Eon's like, brah! And Rudolph's like, who the hell are you? And he's like, my name is Big Ben. Do you want to get in my mouth? I'm going to vor you, Rudolph. Rudolph's like, I don't know how that's going to help me. It'll protect you from Eon the Terrible. And Rudolph's like, okay. And so Rudolph jumps in the mouth of Big Ben, who then vores him, chat. Who then vores him. And they have a conversation because Big Ben's like, oh. And Rudolph's like, what? And he's like, oh. He's like, I can't understand you. He goes, I'm sorry, it's hard to talk with your mouth full. I asked you, are you comfortable? He goes, it smells like rotten fish in here, and I'm very concerned I'm going to go down your throat. Can I ride on top of your head instead? Sure, if you want to. And so he gets on top of Big Ben's head, chat. And they continue to sail off into the islands. By the way, thank you to Luke the Boss for the 10 minutes. I don't know why, but it made me laugh. My ass over enough says they probably didn't let him play in any New Year's games. Like, I'm like, what the fuck are you, man, what the fuck is anything in this movie? Any New Year's games? Rudolph's projecting. Rudolph is definitely projecting on this kid. He's like, he's just like me. He's just like me. But the whale's like, listen, Rudolph, I think the first place that we should probably go to, if I were you, is the island of 1 million BC. And Rudolph's like, well, I went to the other ones and I didn't see the kids, so yeah, let's go there, let's go there. And so they go to the island of 1 million BC, chat, and again, it's not accurate, not historically accurate. I mean, fucking humans weren't walking around with dinosaurs, but who gives a shit? But there's dinosaurs everywhere, chat, and saber-toothed tigers, and he comes across, so the island is called the island of 1 million BC, and then there is a figurehead or something that represents the island, but there's other people that live there, but there's also a person named 1 million BC who also goes by Ohm. Or OM, if you will. And it's this kind of like this shit-talking caveman who's super sarcastic, and he walks out of his cave, he's like, Rudolph, I know all about you. He's like, hey, man, listen, he's like, yeah, you're looking a little sad there, Rudolph. And he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sad. It's been, I always want to go back to my family. I have a kid on the way, and my wife is pregnant, and, you know, my mom is, I care about my mom. I hate my dad, though. He's like, it's a lot of information you're giving me. And it's like, what do you need? He's like, I'm trying to find this other kid. He's having a tough time. And it's like, you know, I see the corners of your mouth. They're in a frown. Let's turn that frown upside down into a smile. And he's like, are you going to sing me a song? He's like, yeah, bet you took us. I'm going to sing you a song. And we get the song, chat, It's Raining Sunshine, which is probably, other than the classic Rudolph song, the best song in the movie. And it's kind of happy, but it's just weird that it's a Cro-Magnon man that's singing it. But he talks about how great it is. You're like, hey, let's not be sad. Let's turn those don'ts into do's, Rudolph. I'll help you find this kid. Don't you worry. And he goes on this whole fucking spiel. I'm going to sing you It's Raining Sunshine right now, chat. When things go wrong and dark clouds fill your sky, let the dark clouds burst, laugh, and you'll find if you try. It's raining sunshine. It's raining sunshine. And it's music to my ears. It's raining sunshine. It's raining sunshine. When you smile away your tears, it's raining sunshine. It's raining sunshine, and the rainbows soon appear. It's raining sunshine. It's raining sunshine. It's raining sunshine. Boom, and that's raining sunshine, chat. And Rudolph's like, well, that was a weird song, but it wasn't as creepy and ominous as Father Time song. He's like, oh yeah, that guy's a fucking weirdo. He goes, yeah. So have you seen this kid named Happy? He has like big ears. And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, oh, is he here? He's like, well, not anymore. And he's like, oh, what happened to him? And he's like, well, let me tell you. And so we see that Happy did indeed come to the island of 1 million BC. And he saved a baby pterodactyl, chat. The pterodactyl egg was hatching and it fell out of the nest. And he fucking saves the baby pterodactyl egg. And it hatches right in front of him. He's like, Mama, Mama. And he's like, oh, this is adorable. But then as the pterodactyl's like hugging him and everything, all the dinosaurs are crowding around. He's like, oh, this kid's fucking great. What happened is the pterodactyl uses its one wing, accidentally knocks off Happy's hat. And all the dinosaurs are like, look at his fucking ears. Look at how big his stupid dumb ears are. He's like, stop looking at me. Stop it. And so they all laugh at him. 1 million BC was laughing at. Everyone laughed at him, chat. And then apparently later that evening, he found himself a big giant shell and he sailed off the island, chat. He just got the hell out of there. And 1 billion as he's called, is like, I couldn't help it. It's fucking weird looking. And Rudolph's like, you're an asshole, but I need your help. And he's like, okay, cool. So where are we going next? And so they go back to Big Ben, and they go to all these different islands, chat. They go to 1492, the island of 1492. But 1492 was too busy exploring, committing genocide. 4000 BC was way too busy and interested in making pyramids. 1893 was too busy dealing with a polio epidemic. And, they're like, fuck, he's not on any of these islands. And Big Ben's like, I think we should go to the island of 1023. And Rudolph's like, why that year, sir? And he's like, well, and this is like weird. Apparently I think this is some bullshit, but this is the year that all these fairy tales started to be written, like Cinderella and the Three Bears and Rumpelstiltskin. And I'm like, I don't think that's fucking true, but it's like, why not? Okay, we'll go there. And so they go there, Chad, and they meet Sir 1023, who basically sounds like John F. Kennedy if he was a nice, like, I'm here to help you. I heard you are looking for a small baby named Happy. He needs to be there. He needs to be the new year, so then Father Time can put his soul inside of a baby. I couldn't help myself, though, because I laughed at him, and I felt really bad about it. Actually, no. 1023 didn't laugh at him. He heard about people laughing at him, and he wanted to help him. That's the thing. Other people were laughing at him. And we meet all these other fairy tale creatures and people. And so, like, Cinderella and Rumpelstiltskin and the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And they're like, some of them have seen him, and they're, like, pointing in the direction. Some have not, and they're, like, really confused. And the last person they talk to is Rumpelstiltskin, and he's like, the baby didn't want to be with me. He hates me. He thinks I'm ugly. He's like, I wouldn't be hanging out with Rumpelstiltskin either, Chad. The guy looks like a fucking pedophile. And so, like, I get it. I don't want to be near him either. And Happy's like, fuck you. You're not going to be my friend. Absolutely not. And Ralph's like, shit, we got to keep looking, guys. And they keep looking. But apparently, chat, Rumpelstiltskin was lying because Happy is literally walking out of the house of Rumpelstiltskin or crawling away. So he was trying to kill that baby. I see what he was doing. Look, doesn't give another 3 babies. Mysterious German character shows up. We should go to the year 1939. Oh, boy. Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah. That's an exciting yeah. But Happy, he goes on his own, and he comes to a log cabin, Chet. He comes to a house, and he goes inside, and he's so tired. He's exhausted, and he's super hungry, too. And he sees on the table, Chet, 3 bowls of porridge. And he's like, he knows that, like, okay, these are not my bowls of porridge, but I'm so hungry, I can't help myself. Goes to the first bowl of porridge, it's too hot. Goes to the second bowl of porridge, that's too cold. The third bowl of porridge, oh, it's just right, baby. But then he's like, I gotta sit down, of course. Goes to the first chair, it's too hard. Second chair, way too soft. Third chair, oh, it's just right, baby, yeah. And so he stuffs himself full of porridge and becomes really fucking fat and obese. And he breaks the chair. It's like, you broke the chair. And he's like, well, I feel bad about it, but whatever. And he just goes upstairs. He goes upstairs to where he finds 3 beds. Goes to the first bed, way too hard. Second bed, too soft. Third bed, just right. Just right, Jane. He sleeps. But we see 3 bears, and they're coming back, chat. And they all walk in there, and the daddy bear's like, someone touched my porridge. And then the mother bear's like, and she sounds like an old Jewish mother. She's like, well, I don't know what happened, but someone came in here, and they were touching my porridge. I love it cold, and I don't like anyone touching it. And then we have the little kid. He sounds like this. The widow baby bear said, someone touched my porridge and ate it all up. What the fuck was that about, Mom? And they broke my chair, too. I don't like it when they break my chair. I don't like it when they break it. And he's like, and the father bear's like, that motherfucker might still be upstairs. Let's go. And so they go upstairs. And what do they see? They find Happy asleep in the bed of baby bear. But they see the kid, and they're like, we can't eat this kid. We can't Leonardo DiCaprio this kid. He's so fucking cute. And apparently Junior took a shine to the kid. He's like, hello, little man. Do you want to be my friend? I want to be your friend. He sounds like Adam Sandler in Waterboy. He sounds like this, mama. And Happy's like, yeah, I want a friend, because he doesn't have a friend yet. He's very sad. And so, the baby bear's like, oh, we can play knights and dragons. Well, you can be the knight, and then I can be the dragon. And they go outside, and he's like, okay, Happy, okay, so you're the knight, all right? And so you take the stick, all right, and you stab me, but not really hard enough. You pretend, of course, you stab me and you slay me. That's how we do it. And Happy's like, all right, and he pokes with the stick, goes, you got, you slay me. And Happy's like, cool. And fucking Papa Bear and Mama Bear are like, oh, it's so cute. And Papa Bear's like, oh, goddamn, another mouth to feed. She's like, shut up. Junior has a friend. You never want him to have friends. That's not what I'm saying. I didn't expect to raise one of his friends. He's like, you just hate the fact that he doesn't respect you because you're so hard on him. And he's like, all right, I'm sorry. And so then Baby Bear is like, now you gotta take off your hat like it's your helmet. It's your helmet. That's what a knight does. He's honorable. And Happy's like, I don't really want to take off my hat. And he's like, but that's the rules. That's the rules. You don't respect the rules. And you don't respect me as your friend. And Happy's like, fuck, I want a friend. And so he takes off the hat shit and boing, his big old ears stick out. And then everyone goes, look at his fucking ears. Oh my God, his ears, they're ridiculous looking. Yeah, you got big fucked up ears. Haha, you're a loser. You got big ears. And then Happy's like, fuck you. And he runs away. And Baby Bear's like, wait, no, friend, come back. I don't mean to. Oh, another one gone. And it's like, oh, it's so goddamn sad, chap. Eventually, though, we cut back to Rudolph and the gang, 1023 and everything, and they can't find Happy. But then all of a sudden they hear, brah, I'm winning, brah. And we see Eon the Terrible, chat. And who does he have on his back? Fucking Happy. And Rudolph's like, shit, he has the baby. He's gonna eat the baby. Oh, we gotta get back to Big Ben. We gotta track him down. Let's go. And thankfully, Big Ben the whale can move as fast as Eon the Terrible, chat. And Rudolph's like, oh, Big Ben, we're going to lose him. We're going to lose him in this fog. He's like, just light the way. Rudolph's shining that fucking red nose. And at this point, he's like, we're not going to be able to keep up with him. He's like, Big Ben, can you use hydro pump? He's like, you bet I can. And then he does hydro pump, chat. Fucking hits Eon, but he's falling in the air, and little Happy, he falls off of Eon, and they're like, oh shit, he dropped the baby. Why did I use hydro pump? I should have used water gun. And so he's falling, chat, but then he uses his hat. He uses his fucking hat. Actually, no. Not his hat, I'm sorry, chat. He uses his diaper. He uses his big diaper, chat, and so you just see baby peeing, and it's like, this makes me uncomfortable. But he uses his diaper, chat, and they're like, shit, okay, we can get the kid, we can get him. He's gonna float, but then a gust of wind just puts him in another direction, chat, flies away. He flies away, and I'm just like, fuck, he's gone again. I just want to go home and see my kid. Oh, Jesus. And so eventually, we see, apparently he's been holding on for like a day. The narrator says he held on for a day, chat. My God, that kid is strong. But he goes to the island, chat, of 1776, where they celebrate the 4th of July and where there are no minorities whatsoever, chat. And he lands there, and who does he meet? Benjamin Franklin, who has become also the year 1776. And he's like, baby, well, this is a wonderful place, Happy. Here, you may think it's December 31st, but in actuality, it's July 4th. We celebrate our independence, and we also celebrate the fact there aren't any minorities here. Let's go ahead and have fun. And it's like, this is weird. This is really weird. Yeah, exactly. And so they go to the 4th of July parade, chat, where they're just fucking marching down. There is not a single brown, black, tan person in sight. It's a whole bunch of just white people. Just goose stepping down the road, celebrating the 4th of July. Everyone's having a great goddamn time. But this one drunk patron, though, this one drunk who is just, it's like, yeah, America, fuck yeah, gonna save the motherfucking day, yeah. He's so happy, Chad, he accidentally knocks Happy into the road as he's standing next to Benjamin Franklin, and his hat falls off, and everybody stops Everybody stops what they're doing, like the parade, or like, and they just look at this kid and go, look at that fucking ugly kid. Oh my God. Oh, that's great. I haven't had this good of a time since we wiped out the Native Americans. Oh, that's funny. And so he runs away again. Eventually, Rudolph, and they hear everybody laughing, and Rudolph and 1023 and and shit, they come on the scene, and they're like, he's gone again. But then Benjamin Franklin, he's like, hey guys, listen, that one is a little too brown for me. What are you, 1 million BC? You're a little too brown, but I'll allow it for right now. Let's go to my house because I feel really, really bad about what just happened. All right? And so they go to Benjamin Franklin's house. And he's like, listen, we couldn't help ourselves. I mean, the kid those ears, man, those fucking ears. And, I feel bad. And Rudolph's like, yeah, you should feel bad, okay? All right, I look different, too. I'm a red-nosed talking reindeer, Benjamin Franklin. It's just weird that now Benjamin Franklin is in the goddamn movie chat. It's like, what? It's like, okay. All right, sure. Some babies look weird, though. No, they are. That's true. Some babies look like little fucking weird potato people. You're not wrong. It's like, ugh. Some babies are ugly. Babies when they're first born are like, they're gross. As they get older, they get cuter and stuff. But he dropped a deuce on something. Oh, definitely, no doubt about it. But Benjamin Franklin's like, listen, I want to help you guys too. I want to go on your adventure. I want to make up for the sins of the past. I want to make up for the sins of us laughing at him. And Rudolph's like, well, you're racist, but I need all the help I can get at this point. So, okay, sure. And right when they're about to leave, they hear him roar, and they go outside, and it's Eon chatting. Eon has Happy again. He found Happy. He's like, I'm winning, and I'm going to go to my secret lair. And he flies away. Rudolph's like, oh, Jesus, we only have like a few hours left until the new year. If we don't get Happy, then time will stop, maybe. I don't know really what the significance is, but okay, we got to get him. And so they go back to Big Ben. And by that time, Eon has already flown away. But thankfully, Ben knows where the lair of Eon the Terrible is. He's like, don't worry, Rudolph. I know the way. And Rudolph's like, okay, cool. But then a big snowstorm just starts. It hits them, chat. And Rudolph has to use his shiny red nose to see through the storm so Ben could get there. Eventually, we cut to Eon the Terrible. He lands. He lives on a massive iceberg at the northernmost part of the world, which I thought was the North Pole, but whatever, fuck me. But he lands there, and he puts Happy down there. And he's like, and now I'll live forever, bro. And he's happy about that. Eventually, Big Ben gets to, the bottom of Eon the Terrible's mountain, and Rudolph and 1023 and Benjamin Franklin, they all disembark. And even though Rudolph can fly up there, he's like, all right, guys, let's traverse the mountain. It's like, Rudolph, just fly up there and get the kid. He keeps forgetting he can fly. And so they scale this mountain, chat, which takes hours. Actually, no. Apparently, they have 30 minutes. It's New Year's Eve. It's 11:30, chat, on December 31st. Half hour. If they don't get this fucking kid, it's over. Time itself is going to fold in on itself, and we're all going to die. We need to get this kid. And so they're climbing up the mountain, chat. But then all of a sudden, he slips. He's like, and he falls backwards. But thankfully, Benjamin Franklin, 1023, is like, the Cro-Magnon man almost fell to his death. And they grab him at the last minute, chat. And Rudolph's like, shit. And they look up, and, we hear him go, he just starts squawking at him, and he starts smashing. He starts smashing and beating his wings on the side of the mountain, and this causes massive chunks of ice and snow and everything to engulf our heroes, chat. And they're all encompassed in these giant snowballs, and they fall down the mountain, seemingly dead. They just die, chat. Though the impact didn't kill them. Then they're gonna freeze to death inside of the icy snowballs they're trapped in. And then we get a really fucking weird line in the movie where Eon's like, yes, they have died, and you, Happy, you will be my slave boy. He literally says, you will be my slave. for all time, bruh. And Happy's like, whoa, wait a minute. You didn't tell me that I was going to be a slave boy. That wasn't in the deal. I thought we were just going to hang out and stuff because you didn't laugh at me. But that line's in the movie. Happy is going to be a slave boy to Eon the Terrible. But chat, fucking Eon didn't know he was up against Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the greatest reindeer of them all, chat, because we cut back to the snowballs where, you know, half the characters are dead now. But Rudolph, we see his nose shining bright, and he's thinking about the love of his wife, his unborn child, his mom, and his hatred of his dad and Santa. And he bursts out of the snowball. She's like, oh, fucking Jesus, why didn't I just fly up there? Okay, all right, guys, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go get this kid. And so he goes up the mountain, chat, until he confronts Happy. And Happy's terrified because Happy hasn't really seen Rudolph. He doesn't really know who he is. He's like, Rudolph's like, hey, buddy, it's okay. Happy, it's okay. I'm here to help you. My name is Rudolph, okay? I the red-nosed reindeer. I don't know if you know me, but I'm here to help you. I was asked my father time to get you. All right, I'm not going to let you be a slave boy to Eon the Terrible. But, you know, Happy's still unsure. And he's like, listen, I know that people have been laughing at you. They've been saying terrible things to you. Been calling you names. Like, I understand that, okay? I went through this, all right, when I was a child, just like you. And I can promise you, okay, that they just don't understand how special you are. I know how special you are. I know your role in this whole thing, okay? And I can help you. Please. But Happy's still really unsure. And he's like, listen, I can tell you more about myself, all right, but we don't have the time. And then the environment itself, chat, the flora and fauna, the trees, the creatures of the world, they're like, we're going to help you, Rudolph. We're literally going to help you. And thank you, Brightburn, for the 20 W's. And at this point, like, the world's like, we'll speak for Rudolph. We'll vouch for this guy, okay? He's cool. We've watched him grow up. We've watched his adventures. The world itself will tell Happy how good of a person Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is, chat. And they do it in the most perfect way possible. They do it, and you know, with through song, through music, chat. And we fucking start hearing those lyrics, and it's like, goddamn right, Rudolph. You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him, fuck them, as they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you'll go down in history. Boom, that song still slaps. That's a fucking knee slapper, chat. And Rudolph's like, I didn't expect that. And the fucking world's like, we love you, Rudolph. You're fucking cool. Thanks, guys. And Happy hears this, and he's like, wow, you are just like me, aren't you? He goes, yeah, man, we've been through the same exact thing, okay? You've gone your adventure. You've been hurt, but I'm here. I never had someone that tried to save me, okay? I had friends. I had good people, but never someone saved me. I'm here for you, okay? And Happy's like, yeah, man, thank you. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm going to take this hat off. And he takes the hat off, chat, and Rudolph goes, and Rudolph starts laughing at the fucking kid. He starts laughing at Happy, and Happy's just like, no. And Rudolph's like, listen, no, listen. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because you make me happy. That's why you're called Happy, man. Those ears, they're funny, but they're a part of you. That's what makes you you. It makes you unique. People laugh at my red nose. Look at my red nose. And he shines it in front of Happy, and Happy starts laughing at his red nose. He's like, yeah, people laughed at it, but I learned the value of this. I learned the value of this, and through friendship with my friends like Hermie and Yukon Cornelius, and my wife, and my child is on the way, and my mom. Like, these are the people that we have in our life, Happy, and you can have those people. We can be there with you. And Happy's like, Happy. He says his first word, which is Happy, which is his name. And then, but then fucking Rudolph's like, shut the fuck up. Because all of a sudden, Eon's like, what's all this talking, slave boy? And then he looks down, he sees Happy, and Rudolph are like, oh shit, if only I learned how to fly. And all of a sudden, Eon looks at him and goes, ha, 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 ha. He starts laughing at his big dumb ears, like, those ears. And he tumbles down the mountain, Chad, because he's in a laughing fit, and he hits like all the debris and the ice and until he lands on the ground dead. He lands on the ground dead, Chad, and Eon the Terrible has died. He died because of laugh. No, actually, what happens is he does fall to the ground. He frees all the other heroes like Benjamin Franklin and 1023 and and they're free from the ice. They almost died because of hypothermia. But Rudolph says, oh, he can't die now because he's all warm inside because of laughter, so he can never die. And Eon's like, yeah, I guess so. And so they're all talking to each other at this point. But then it's like a minute. It's like less than a minute to midnight. To New Year's Day, and Rudolph's like, oh, fuck, we got the kid, but we're too late. We need a miracle. We need a Christmas miracle. And then we hear those fucking sleigh bells, Chad. Ho, ho, ho. And Rudolph's like, Santa, you fat fuck. And he's like, hello, Rudolph. I decided to help at the very end of the movie. And he comes down there and he's like, we just have enough time to get back to father time so he can put his soul inside of a baby. And Rudolph's like, fuck yeah, Santa. Want me to guide the way? He's like, you bet your sweet reindeer ass I do. And so they hook up Rudolph, chap. See, it farts in his dad's face and shit, and they take off into the sky, chat, and they'll go down in history, and they get there just in time to Father Time's castle, chat. They land there, and fucking Father Time's like, get out of my way, give me that baby, and he fucking puts his soul inside of the baby, chat, I think, and he becomes Baby New Year, and they ring in the New Year chat, and everyone's like, yeah, we're happy, I guess. Happy New Year, everybody. We just saw an old man grab a baby and put his soul into it, I guess. And Rudolph's like, I'm going to go home and see my wife. And so Rudolph, he flies away, Chad. He flies away, and he goes and sees his wife, Chad, until he has to deal with this bullshit next year with Frosty the Snowman. And that, my friends, is my scene by scene breakdown to Rudolph's Shiny New Year. Fucking weird. A weird movie, Chad. A weird movie, but one that's fun. I have to admit, what a fever dream of a movie. It's so bizarre. It's like, I just don't understand anything. It's like, there's stuff that pops up. It's like, sure, you just got to go with it. It's like, yeah, all right, whatever. Yeah, okay, let's do it. Santa coming in there at the 11th hour is ridiculous, though. It's like, Santa, you could have done this, like, at the time you got that letter. It could have been you and Rudolph doing this. You put this fucking poor reindeer out there when you know that he's got a kid. You know, he's got his wife's heavily pregnant. Mom is old, gonna die soon. It's like, what the hell is wrong with you? I would have been pissed. I would have been really pissed. But yeah, Chad, it's a weird movie. I mean, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is still like a full price. This is like, I don't know, like a high rental. It's like a high rental, Chad. I would give it a high rental on the double toasted DT scale, Chad. But I hope you enjoyed the review. They were on some serious fucking drugs. Serious goddamn drugs, Chad. Oof, one of these days you're going to die laughing. One of these days you're going to die laughing. That's right. What's his name? Judge Doom says that to the Weasels. Jason, thank you for the 10 biddies. Appreciate that. And thank you again to everyone else who is donating throughout the stream. Appreciate your support. Sure, Spock, I think Father Time has found a way to make clones, but the clones don't live long, so he has to transfer his consciousness to a new clone baby every... It's gross. It's like, oh my God. I don't know if Rudolph knew about that. I'll admit this movie's silly, but I still love it. Something about these stop-motion cartoons just have a certain... Oh, no, they do. No, definitely, because we don't see them that often. And there's a wonderful charm to them. Totally agree. Santa in the Rudolph movies is true. He is a dick, especially in the first one. Oh, my God. He's like, Blitzen, you got to do something about this. He implies to Blitzen, kill your fucking kid. I need you to kill him. I can't have it going out there that one of my reindeers got a red nose, that one of my most famous reindeer produced that thing. Kill that kid. Check out my Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer review, chat. Boom. Oh, Judas, good to see you. I got a bone to pick with you and the others. I saw you guys' worst list, and the best movie of the year was on it, Venom. Why you guys hate great movies? Anyways, it's been a while since I've been here, Mr. Herman. I know it has been, Judas. But life happens. Anyway, hope you have a good year. And when I get more time, I'll be here, about to watch Rambo Last Blood with the lady partner. Well, enjoy it with your lady partner, my friend. Why don't I like Venom? I mean, I've explained why. I've explained why I don't like that movie. I don't feel like I need to reiterate. It's just I don't think it's written well. I think it's acted poorly. It doesn't really have a story at all. It's just 90 minutes of the same joke over and over and over again with Woody Harrelson occasionally, just chewing on scenery with a really bad accent, voice, cadence, the way he talks. Yeah, I just don't like the film. Also, hear about Morbius being delayed April 1st. I did. We were talking about that in the beginning of the stream. I mean, I haven't hated the trailers, but I have no excitement to see it. I inevitably will when it comes out. I got to probably review that either for DT or for my own channel. You gotta do what you gotta do, chap. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this review, my friends. Probably for the next couple of days, I'll do a few more Christmas specials or holiday specials. So expect Tuesday and Wednesday, something like Rudolph's Shiny New Year, chap. Some fun shenanigans will indeed be had. And then next week's gonna be fun because I'll be doing Scream 2 and Scream 3 in preparation for the release of Scream 5, chat, or Scream, as it's just called. It'll be good. But again, Chad, I hope you enjoyed the review. We are going to be switching over to some Deathloop right now. I'm going to get that ready for you guys. Just give me a minute. I'm going to switch out a couple of wires. Oh, boy. Oh, and thank you, Synopsis. Sorry, you probably were talking about one of my streamers reading, but it's all good. Oh, you're good. You're good. Juicy loot. Indeed. Indeed, chat. So let me go ahead and switch on over to that. Just give me a second. Actually, in the meantime, you can go ahead and bear no witness to the dirty sounding boy.